Hey guys, good afternoon. Old Iron Will here. Just thought maybe I'd take you over, give you a tour of the three containers that I have, some of the engines that are there, some of the other antiques and collectibles I have. Nice day out today. It's November 20th, I think is the date today. It's actually about 5 above right now. We've had a bunch of snow again this week, but like I say, it's above melting right now. So I thought it'd be a good day to maybe come over, show you guys some of what's in there. So let's go take a look. Here we go, guys. Three containers on the property. So kind of start you on this one. This is probably the fullest of the three. Right there, I have an old Eaton's belt-driven washing machine. I've been after a belt-driven washing machine for a while. I was able to pick this one up this fall. I think I picked her up start of October. So you can still see some of the original writing and everything like that on it. So pretty good shape overall, other than it's just kind of missing this board here. Got broke off a little bit, but I could work around with that. So little Maytag was given to me here. This, I guess I did pay for it, but I paid for next to nothing from it. So got that and a few other engines this fall. Not that I'm big into collecting Maytags, but friend's father-in-law passed away and he had a few engines and stuff like that. So I picked them up to help them out when they were trying to clean up the estate. So here we have a little bit of a different one. Very similar to a Raleigh Schreier, but it's actually a Canadian Stover engine. Not sure if the tag will pick up or not, how well, but in here, there's no light in here, so very nice engine. Lots of original pinstriping, everything like that on it. So, it's one that I've had it running for a little bit in the past, but I really need to get it out and go through it and do all the little things to make it run properly. So, missing a mag for it, as I say, I'm always on the hunt for Webster M mags. Always seem to be short of them. A few different pump jacks. I know one of them's a Stover. I believe the one there at the end there, the enclosed one's a Stover. A couple of no-name ones, or I shouldn't say that. This is a Nelson Brothers one. This one, but it's got a lot of wear on it, and then just a no-name one there. So no name on it. I'm thinking it was probably built by Stover too, and probably sold through Eaton's here. It has similarities to the Stover part numbers on it. So little Fairbanks D here, 2 horsepower. This one was painted red a long, long time ago. Not really sure why, but it's definitely old paint, and I picked it up off a old time collector that had bought a whole bunch of stuff, so he'd never worked on it. So I think it was originally painted red for whatever application it was being used for. Here we have a little horse and a half Fuller and Johnson N, one of the first engines I ever bought. First one I really ever worked on any amount myself. It was more of a cosmetic restoration. I think that one that was done probably close to 20 years ago, maybe even longer. Then I do have this little Field and Brundage here, throttle governed engine. They're not very common. Again, I've robbed the mag bracket and everything off from my other Field and Brundage engine that I had on the trailer this year, just because I was short of mags, and I do have a mag bracket for it, but I think I'm always short on those Webster M mags. So here we have a little Gilson Johnny on the spot. So horse and a half. Again, this is back when I was kind of into the painting engines and everything like that. It's been completely gone through. Nice little engine. Some grinders, stuff like that, right? Lots of different parts, pieces, some shelves, you know, grease cups, old Allen magneto charger, John Deere PTO pump, other little belt-driven grinder. I do have the flywheel handle for it as well, so you can run it by hand. Another little Maytag that I picked up a long, long time ago. I think mufflers and just all sorts of parts and pieces and different things in here. Little Tom Thumb there. So this one took 2 engines to get one going. An assortment of pulleys, a few crank guards and stuff, extra ones that I have. Nice big Enterprise grinder there. And then we do have the horse and a half Fairbanks Morse plug oscillator. This is the one that was missing the tag that I bought the other one for. I pulled this down. This is a 10 horsepower Fairbanks Z crank This was left upside down in the crank guard, and I picked up that engine. There'll be a, I don't know if the video will be out before or after this one, but I got a little tale on how I ended up with that engine. And so this was turned upside down, left laying in the bottom of the base and stuff like that. So it just kind of how much it rotted away. This was actually the very first hit and miss engine I ever bought. This little double tag Stover KE. Has an Eaton tag on it. I've robbed a fuel mixer and stuff like that just for another project right now. Nelson Brothers engine here. Has the Webster Magneto on it. Lots of original decaling, or I mean pinstriping, all that stuff on it. Very nice original engine. My 1 horsepower Mogul there. Again, very nice engine. I just moved back up to the front of the container. I was starting to walk into the light. It was getting a bit of a glare. So here's another little 2 horsepower Fairbanks D. This one has the galvanized extended water hopper on it. Kind of a rare option. You don't see it very often. Very nice original International LA. See lots of, it's got the little pulley on it. You can still see quite a bit of the decaling, stuff like that. So, and then I have my 1.5 horse McCormick LB. I put an extended water hopper on this one, the air cleaner, everything like that. So there's my other 1.5 horse Field and Brundage. That's the one I stole the mag bracket and everything for this summer because I had that one on the show trailer. Another Tom Thumb there. When I worked on that one last winter, it came out of Bethune, Saskatchewan. It was used at a grain elevator actually to pump water. This is an engine I show a lot. I put it on the trailer. It's so reliable. Fairbanks ZA with the Bosch AB3304 Magneto. Use it a lot to drive a pump jack or something like that. The other thing I like on it is quite often when we go to a show or something like that, food's maybe not always readily available. So this is always a good engine to cook some sausages in and stuff like that. So do that a fair bit. Here's a Timothy Eaton engine, probably 1.5 horse, 1.75 horse. They don't actually stamp the horsepower on their engines. So again, it would have been made by Waterloo. Has the rounded front hopper on it. So again, maybe the tag shows up there. So 1.5 horse Canadian Fairbanks Morse headless. That's kind of the oddball with this one. It's got a Canadian Fairbanks Morse tag on it. So don't see that very often, but I have the tag off of it right now. It's just in the shed, but or in my toolbox in the house. But definitely is a Canadian Fairbanks Morse. Has a C designation on the serial number, everything like that. This was the very first engine I ever bought. 3 horsepower Fairbanks ZA. Old Smoky I called it. It used to puff quite a bit of smoke at times, but it was always a pretty reliable engine. So that's when the started my whole addiction. Again, this is an engine that came from a friend. His dad had it, so it was a little 2 horsepower Fairbanks D. That's one that'll never be up for sale. My dad's the one who got it out. It was seized. It was laying on its side. My dad got it apart and running and everything like that. I kind of did the painting and stuff like that on it. But again, one of the very first engines we ever did. And then a little 3/4 horsepower Bluffton air-cooled engine. So nicely running little engine. I've shown it lots over the years. Very nice original Judson here. You can see a bit of the decal on the front of it yet. So has the cream separator pulley on it. Some of the linkages are a little loose on it. I have run it in the past. Valve guides need done. Valve's got a lot of slop in it and everything like that. Just everything needs to be gone through, tightened up, and it'll be a nice engine. So then we've got a 2 horsepower Waterloo Boy Type K engine. So, and then a Fairbanks Jack Jr. And then a 1.5 horse Alpha D Laval. Same as the John Lawson. So it's all complete. And then I have a liter engine, which I believe was probably made by, Raleigh Schreier again. So again, nice original engine. I haven't worked on it yet. I picked it up a number of years ago at the Bob Porth sale. So, and then we have got a Nelson Brothers here, Model P engine, and then another Stover. It's probably going to be a parts donor engine, maybe for the one next door to it if I need something done. So that's it, I think, in container one. So some of the engines ended up down in the coverall shed were in here. So it's definitely made a little more room in this container for sure. Got another belt-driven washing machine. I was after one for years and years. Couldn't find one, and all of a sudden within about 2 months I got two of them. Isn't that the way it always goes though? So this one's all here. Not quite as good a shape as the other one, but a little different design and everything like that. So, but definitely well worth. Shouldn't be too hard to get it rigged up as a display piece anyway. Somewhere in here I have the ringer for it. I can't remember where I put it, but it's in this container somewhere. So here we got a 5 horsepower economy. This is one of my dad's engines. He bought this down at the Le Sueur swap meet a number of years ago. We've never had it running yet. It shouldn't take much to get it going. It's not seized. Has had a pretty big freeze break on it, as you can see there. So is a Webster fired engine, so it's just a matter of probably getting it out. We had to get it. We got a new gas tank and everything like that for it. And I know my dad's gone through the mag and the igniter bracket and everything. It's just a matter of getting it pulled out and actually finishing it off. So in behind here is I believe it's a 4 horsepower Eaton's engine again, made by Waterloo Gas and Engine and Tractor Company. So sold in Eaton's in Canada. So tag there again, I think when I measured the flywheels and the piston diameter and everything like that, I think I came up that it's a 4 horse. So it's all original. It's all there. We got the original tank, everything like that. It was laying out edge of a farmyard, just on the edge of a junk pile. So that one's again a future project. And then again another little bit of an oddball one here, right? I got the 9 horse down in the tarp shed, and this is the 7 horsepower Magnet. This is a little older one than the other one, but again, a lot of the same styling cues, everything like that. So again, I'm going to have to take a couple of pieces off my 9 horse and get them recast. They are the same parts, but we're missing for this engine, like the hopper lid, and there's also the igniter trip and the eccentric and all that stuff. So and then we have an Ideal here upright. I think it's a 3.5 horsepower, if I remember right, with the funnel top on it. So we haven't shown it for a little while, but another Canadian Fairbanks Morris 1.5 horse. This one I left original. I actually had a friend kind of do this one up for me. He was looking for some winter projects one year. I had 3 or 4 of these just sitting out on a pallet outside. So I kicked him in when he got laid off for the winter, and he kind of worked on it and got it up and going and everything like that. So again, it left this one in the original Pantina. Little 2 horsepower Cushman Cub sold by Massey Harris up here. Then we have a back there is a Hercules engine, 1.5 horse, 1.75 horse. I can't remember what they rate those ones at right now, but had that engine a long time. So, and then another one where my friend who I got the 2 horsepower Fairbanks D on the other container there's a little Novo roller engine up there. So one of these days, the guy may be able to actually get working on it. It's seized and everything like that. Another Cushman Cub sold by Massey Harris. And an old mower. I spent hours and hours cutting grass with that thing as a kid. So that mower is probably close to 50 years old, and usually I'll still start on the second pull. So 3 to 5 horsepower LB, and then 3 horsepower Fairbanks hit and miss engine, type Z, right? It has the original battery box, everything like that on it. Assortment of pulleys and stuff like that, parts and pieces, gas tanks, skids. This is one of the first engines. This may be the first engine my dad actually ever restored, a little 1.5 horse International LA. And then we got a nice original Galloway on an original cart here down in the middle. So again, it's a good running engine. Showed it lots. Little Hardy 3-piston pump. It came with that Ideal engine, because looks like they both came off a sprayer at one point in time. John Deere, nice original John Deere here. My dad got that one fairly early on, but like most John Deeres, you can see there's a pan sitting on top of it. We need to switch that out as it does leak oil. Little model engine my dad picked up in a cart that it mounts on, like a little wagon. So 1.5 International M. One of the engines my dad did a long time ago. So some carts, stuff like that up here, right? Some valve seat grinding machines, stuff like that. So old headless there. I've got an original cart. I need to do up another headless because I got another original cart to put one on. First year production Massey Harris Type 2. So again, that's another one to go through. Fuller & Johnson tanks and stuff like that for pump engines. Obviously, I got one in the shed there to work on. Then we got a nice Ruston and Hornsby here. It's the only side shaft engine we have in our collection. It's a petrol engine or gas engine, right? So shown it a few times. Heavy engine, but one that I'm thinking I should put on a wagon and stuff like that. Just it's a little easier to move around. So that has it for container 2. Not as much in this container, guys. This one's a little bit more of a catch-all. Again, it did have a few of the bigger engines in it too before we moved them down to the shed. 2 Masseys. They came from the same friend where I got that Maytag engine I was talking about in the first container. Is that one, and there's an LB down here that, you know, his father-in-law passed away, and they're looking to clean up the estate. So I give them a little bit of money, not a lot. So, but not really highly collectible in my book, right? I'm looking for other stuff, but to help them clean up the estate, I did that. Original Fairbanks Morris hand cart. Read all the deckling, everything like that on it. Still has the tag on it. So a couple of Wisconsin engines. There's the International LB I was talking about. Another stack of LBs and LAs. Little Gibson tractor. Mechanically, it's all been gone through. Really, what needs to be done on it, the tires are shot on it, but we do have a set of tires to put on it. And then really, it's all the cosmetic stuff. We're doing up the tin and everything like that, but it's kind of sat like that for a number of years. I think the interest has waned on it. So then we got I think this is original paint on this little single flywheel Fairbanks Eclipse engine. One my dad had for a lot of years now. So pretty sure it is. If it's not original paint, it's been repainted or repainted a long time ago. So, and then another little 2 horsepower Fairbanks D, part of a headless, 3 horsepower John Deere. So really, other than that, that's about it for engine parts in this container. So there we have it, guys. That's kind of the quick tour of the containers. So I thought I'd maybe just show them to you before it gets too cold out there. But so they say pretty soon it'll be like ice boxes in there. So, well, that tour is done. I'm going to head to the garage, start doing some work again. I'm going to work on that 3 horsepower old some more today. So thank you, everybody. Talk to you again. Cheers for now.